In a recent study, we explored the water and sewage infrastructure of 149 out of the 186 administrative islands of the Maldives. Here's what we found with regards to water on these 149 islands. Only 23% had a water supply system, out of which 7 had not yet started using the facilities. This means that only 18% of the islands had a functional water system connected to individual households. Most of these were operated by Fenica, followed by Stelco, MWSC, and the islands' councils of the respective islands. One island did not respond to this question. An additional 4 islands had desalination plants delivering water to collection points located around the island, but did not include household connections. So how about the 77% of islands surveyed that did not have water supply systems? 41% had begun the process of establishing water supply infrastructure with projects at various stages. The remaining 59% had no water supply system at all. What other sources of water are there, especially for the islands with no functional water supply systems? Groundwater and rainwater are the natural water resources used on many islands of the Maldives. We found that regardless of the existence of a water supply system or not, rainwater was used on all 149 islands, with 40% of them depending on it. Another 42% used it in combination with other types of water, including groundwater, bottled water, and desalinated water. 15% reportedly did not use any rainwater and instead used groundwater, bottled water, or desalinated water. 3% of islands surveyed did not state any dependency on either type of water. When it comes to groundwater, 90% of the islands used it to do laundry, while 81% used it for bathing. However, only 15.4% of the islands reported good conditions for groundwater, with the remaining islands reportedly experiencing different forms of contamination, including general contamination, smells, salinity, or color changes. 2% of the islands reported that the groundwater was no longer usable. 1 had a water supply system, while the remaining 2 islands relied on rainwater and bottled water. 5% of the surveyed islands did not report any usable data for this question. What happens when islands run out of water? 57% of the islands reportedly experience water shortages during the dry season that typically falls between March and July. Some of these islands reported having to request emergency water supplies twice annually, mostly due to their natural groundwater being contaminated and their main water source being rainwater and bottled water. We believe that all Maldivian residents have the right to sufficient, continuous, safe, acceptable, physically accessible, and affordable water for personal and domestic use. We as civil society actors will continue to advocate for this right. Join us in this mission. Visit watercare.org.mv/get involved or follow us at WatercareMV.